The fact that I almost called this book What If It's Us should speak volumes. What is up, BookTube? It is Monty, and I'm here today to talk about Yes, No, Baby So by Becky Albertalli and Aisha Sayed. First things first, I am currently sick. I feel a little congested, but overall, I no longer feel like death incarnate, so we're making baby steps here. I'm probably going to be speaking slower in this, just so that if I do have to sniffle, I have time to, edit that out, so you don't have to deal with me sniffling. With that said, let's talk about the book. This is Becky Albertalli's latest release. This is the third book by Becky that I've read. This is my first introduction to Aisha's work. And it's set in Georgia during a special election to fill a state senate seat. You have our two main characters, Jamie Goldberg, who is, I think he's 17, and Maya, who I'm sure she has a last name, but what her last name is, I couldn't tell you. Maya, who is also, again, same age. They live in roughly the same area of Georgia, and it's their story. Reconnecting. They had known each other briefly as kids, but they live in the same neighborhood, but they went to different schools and things. And there's some reconnecting during this special election by canvassing for the Democratic candidate, Jordan Rossum. This was inspired by the actual special election that was held in Georgia to fill a seat vacated by, I think it was a regular senator. It might have been a state representative. There's a thing in the back of the book that explains it. They talked about it at the talk I went to at the Ripped Bodice. And so that was the genesis of the book. And it was a really inspiring story listening to, Becky Albertalli and Aisha talk about how they canvassed for the candidate and how that led them to this book. And the canvassing moments in this book I thought were the strongest. All of the discussions of ways that you can participate in, your local democracy, engage with politicians, even if you can't vote for them, because our main characters in the novel are 17. But, so even if you can't vote for the person, I think that it was nice to see a portrayal of, you can still do these other things to participate and engage in the democracy and get other people to engage in it. Even, like I said, even if you can't for whatever reason. That aside, the romance in this book was really what pulled me. I don't want to say pulled me out of it, but I didn't find it nearly as cute and charming as everyone else seems to. And part of that, I think that Yes, No, Maybe So would make an excellent Netflix movie. I think Amazon Prime, if they wanted to pick it up, Hulu, Freeform, literally anybody, HBO Max. I think that a lot of the tropes that work for movies don't work in the book. Namely, Jamie, he sees Maya early on in the novel at a Target, and he talks about how pretty she is. And for most of the book, he has a crush on her. Jamie is very stereotypically awkward with girls, as Becky Albertalli's main characters are off to be, at least the ones that I've read. I've only read Simon Versus and What If It's Us, and both Arthur and Simon are sort of socially awkward, essentially, around people that they are attracted to, and Jamie very much fits that stereotype that I've come to find from Becky's protagonist. And so he doesn't really approach Maya because, he's attracted to her, and he's, awkward around Maya and any other girl, really. But he has a crush on her for the entire book. When they're canvassing, all of Maya's chapters code their relationship entirely platonic. Meanwhile, you have to suffer through Jamie being attracted to this girl. And early on in the novel, Jamie does something which is sort of deceptive. It's not, I don't think, problematic in any kind of way, but it is deceptive. He knows that he is deceiving Maya. Maya gets really excited about this thing. And then later on in the novel, when it's revealed, Jamie comes out and is like, yeah, that wasn't what really happened. This is the reality of the situation. Maya is just kind of like, oh, okay. And she kind of brushes it off. But then it's when it's revealed to Jamie that the only reason that Maya has been hanging out with him, well, not the only reason, but the reason that sort of launched everything for her was that her parents said they would get her a car if she went out and did this canvassing thing. And so when that's revealed to Jamie, Jamie like freaks out. And it's kind of like, sir, that is not the reaction you need to have, especially when we've already established that you were deceiving Maya about this relatively small thing, and she kind of was just like, whatever about it. Again, this is a comparatively small thing that sort of blows up the third act of the book, like 50 pages before it's over. Also, the couple is not established until like 30 pages before the book is over, at which point it just kind of reads like, well, the book is ending. And this is, we've been talking about this as a rom-com. It's being marketed as a rom-com. We need to have this happen. And so it happens, but it doesn't really feel organic to me, at least for Maya's character. And I didn't really appreciate it. I feel like I would have appreciated it much more if there wasn't actually this romance that happened in the book. I mean, I understand that I'm probably alone on that front, but I feel like that's really where the story was building toward. But again, I have to be alone on this because I haven't really seen anything but praise for the book. And so I don't want you to be discouraged if you're watching this and you were excited for this release. I just don't think that as a rom-com situation it works out for me. Again, I am a biased person. I have not really connected to any of Becky Albertalli's works. And even here, Jamie, I didn't really care for him. I didn't think he was as bad as Arthur or Simon, but I don't think he was better. I still preferred Maya's chapters and her character overall. I think that if you have read this and enjoyed it, or if you read it and you didn't enjoy it, if you've just, or you like the premise of this, you like the idea of an interfaith relationship and a slice of life rom-com situation, I do have a book that I think is excellent. And I'm going to plug it here because I didn't review it last year and I don't talk about it enough. But it's this lovely little gem, You Asked for Perfect by Laura Silverman. It's a queer male-male dynamic relationship about Ariel and his friend Amir. Again, it's these two people who have had a past, history with one another. Again, it's a slow burn. It's a lot shorter. It's shorter by like 100 pages, maybe. Let's see. It's shorter by like 200 pages. So there's that. And if that wasn't enough, and at the end of the book, there is a recipe for matzo ball soup. So you can get your Jewish comfort on after being crushed by the feels. Even if you enjoyed this one, I think that you would still enjoy this. If you were kind of let down by this, I think this will work for you. I think people should just read this in general because I think it's not as hyped as it should be, and I really love it. So, You Asked for Perfect, I think, gives similar vibes. It's one that I connected with more. This one isn't own voices for the Muslim rep, it's own voices for the Jewish rep, whereas this is own voices for the Muslim and Jewish rep by the respective authors. So that's really everything I have to say. I felt that it was pretty average, it was pretty just okay. I can't really recommend it to anybody, but like I said, if it was already on your radar, it was already something you wanted to read, far be it for me to come for you, but I think that I'm done giving Becky a chance. I don't think I'll be picking up another release anytime soon. If that What If It's Us sequel ever happens to materialize, I will read it just because I'm curious about where they think that narrative could go and not have it feel forced, but that would be a problem for future Monty because as of now, that's just rumors and speculation. So thanks for watching this video. If you liked what you saw here, make sure to subscribe for more. If you have read Yes, No, Maybe So, I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. Even if you don't agree with me and you think that my opinions on this book are trash, leave them down below. Who am I? I'm not the arbiter of all that is good in the universe, but I'll see you guys again soon with another video, whenever that happens to be. But until then, and until next time, bye.